Me being the good kid I am, I go downstairs and I kid you not, Sarah and Gina are doing you know what down there, butt naked, coochie out. We've never talked since and I need help. Yes, you do, babes. You sent me your absolute wildest confessions, and now it's my job to read them and potentially roast you.
Ooh, just what I've been waiting for.
We listen and we do judge on this channel. Let's get into it. One time at school, we went on an overnight trip to Ottawa. It was night 2 and we had just went to dinner and bowling. As soon as we got onto the bus, I had to poo really bad. Luckily, the bus had a built-in toilet, but we were only 2 minutes away from the hotel. Everyone got off the bus and the teacher stayed on waiting for me. It smelled really bad, so when I got off the bus, I quickly ran past them running towards the hotel. The next morning, my teacher announced that nobody could use the bathroom because of the amount of poo that came out of me. He literally pointed to me and said my name. I didn't know that much poo can come out of a little girl like you. Listen, this might be a bit controversial, but I'm gonna say this is an inside thought because this is something I would never repeat, acknowledge, or speak about ever again. This is going in the deepest, darkest denial pocket of my brain. What's absolutely insane is that the teacher did that. Bro, seriously?
What's wrong with you people?
I would never think, oh man, this person's tummy was going through it and there's a lot of poo. Let me point them out in front of an entire bus full of people and be like, what's going on with your poo? Especially as a child in school. Nah, that teacher wanted you to get bullied, girl. I don't know what to tell you.
It's so sick and twisted.
Teach, I'll show you more poo where that came from just for outing me. You're so strong. Your booty hole, not as strong. One day I went to bed and had a dream that my crush asked me out. So when I went to school the next day, I asked him out because I thought the dream was a sign that we're meant to be together. So I asked him out and he said, absolutely not, I'm dating someone. And he punched me in the stomach.
What?
Was that necessary? Now I feel bad. I am proud of you for getting the cojones to ask out your crush. I'm so sorry you got punched for it because this would make me never want to ask out anyone ever again because getting physically abused for it? Wow! At least that crush was crushed and I feel like you actually should have crushed him back. The trash took itself out, but it could have not punched you. That would have been nice. Well, one time when I was 12, my friends have gotten their periods, but I hadn't gotten mine yet. And I thought that they were cool, so I put red paint in my underwear and pretended that I got my first period. I know, I was crazy. I would still keep this as an inside thought because I would not want to admit to having faked my period to fit in with my friends. But I'm also not surprised because when you're that age and everyone's getting their first periods except for you, I get it. There's a little bit of FOMO. You're like, I want to be a grown up and get my period too, even though the reality is, I promise you, you don't want to get your period. If you don't have a period yet, you actually live the best life of all of us. Remember that. Anyways, I get wanting to fit in with your buddies. I just would not admit that I did this. You could have done like ketchup. I feel like ketchup would wash out easier. No, I actually have a little confession of my own. It's about Cash App, the sponsor of today's video. Back in school, I used to spend class doodling my crush's name all over my notebooks instead of actually paying attention. But now, I get to put my doodles on something else. A Cash App Visa debit card. You can pick your card color, add your own drawings, make a cute pattern, or even a little inside joke with your friends. It's fun, personal, and actually makes adulting feel a little bit less boring. It also comes with some pretty cool perks like discounts on coffee, boba, video games, and even early access to concert tickets like Kendrick or Sabrina. And there are no monthly fees and no minimum balance rules. If you're 18 or older, download Cash App, use code CASH10, and send $5 or more to a friend within the first 14 days and you'll get $10. If you're 13 to 17, you can request a sponsored account from a parent or guardian, use code CASH10 and send $5 or more to a friend within 14 days and you'll get $10. Terms apply. Nothing says, I've got my life together, like using a cute little personalized debit card while paying for emotional support snacks. Am I right?
Yes.
Thanks Cash App for sponsoring this video. I created a shrine to Felix from Stray Kids in the bathroom at my school, literally just a pic of him with my husband written on it. It got cleaned up by the janitor the next day, as expected, but at lunch it came back, except I didn't put it there. This time it was more elaborate. It had a bowl and the pic said accepting offerings for my husband. There were 4 candles, $1, and an unused tampon. Weird. The next day there were multiple photos and it had been moved to behind the bin so it wouldn't be found by the janitor. The day after, I had heard it had appeared in the math and science rooms behind various bookshelves. Now there's one in basically every classroom. I think how the teachers haven't found out. It's like a disease that's conquering our entire school. P.S. I'm happy you love my videos, and what the actual heck? You started a cult. fault.
Escucha las palabras de las brujas, los secretos escondidos en la noche, los antiguos dioses invocamos ahora.
Who took it to the next level? The janitor has got to be so confused. I know the janitor's at the point where they're like, okay, I know it's behind the bin and I know it's in every single classroom and I am simply not doing all that work and picking it up because I don't get paid enough for that. So because of that, actually, I'm putting this at 5% evil because this is super innocent, but I feel like it's low-key a nuisance on people like the janitor. But it could be worse, you know, at least like the tampon's unused. At school, there's a group of girls who stick unused tampons to the ceiling tiles so they hang down and we call them the tampon fairies because nobody knows who they are. Why do I kind of love this? Why do I kind of wish my school had tampon fairies now, actually? Ridiculous and insane to think of someone literally standing on the school toilet and then taking out tampons from their applicators and it just hanging them on the school tiles. That's wild. But I guess if it's, you know, to put a smile on someone's face from the little tampon fairy, I think it'd be worth it. I'm still gonna put this at 5% evil because again, you're being a nuisance for people like janitors. It could be worse. They could be bloody tampons hanging from the ceiling. Please don't take that as an idea. There was a time in my life where I wasn't subscribed to Just Sharon.
What?
That's just tragic. But it is not too late if you're not subscribed. You can still subscribe, especially if you love the tea. Please and thank you. I had 2 dogs when I was 4. My aunt was in the bathroom showering and I needed to use the toilet, but I couldn't. So I went to my room and went in the closet, blamed it on the dogs and never cleaned it up. My brother cleaned it up and no one ever found out. I love you too, but you're a menace.
Evil!
I'm trying to tell myself they were just 4. Innocent child, toddler, but to poop in the closet, hiding it, and then blaming it on dogs means that you knew better.
Guilty.
Menace behavior. Let me hit up your brother right now. Now I'm kind of having a crisis and it makes me wonder every time I clean up my dog's poop, how do I know it was my dog's poop? Did I see my dog actually poop? Could it have been some random toddler that came into my backyard and decided to poop instead? I'll never know. I liked this boy, but didn't know he felt the same, so I asked my friends if he did. They said that they didn't know, and I should ask him. I did ask him, and turns out he was gay. Oh. You know, babe, you tried. And that's what matters. The best way to know if somebody likes you back is to simply ask them, hey, do you like me back? And I know it's easier said than done and it sounds really scary, but it's how you get your answer the quickest with less confusion and you're wasting less time because then you could move into a relationship with them or move on to a different person. Like in your case, move on to a different person because this boy plays for the same team, babes. At least he didn't say no because you were ugly and then punch you in the stomach or something like that. You know, like it could always be worse. One time when I was like 14, I pretended my 4-month-old baby cousin was my son and tricked an older guy into giving me money because I said I could barely afford something for myself because I only bought one thing for my son. You're a nuisance. You're evil. That is so messed up. But I kind of respect the hustle at the same time and I hate that I actually said that. Shame on that guy for looking at a 14-year-old and thinking, yeah, that's definitely her 6-month-old baby.
Bruh.
She's like an 8th grader, like a freshman in high school. Sir, be so for real. Use this thing. You should have taken more money from him. When I was a junior, I asked one of my female friends if she was going to prom. She said she wasn't because she was grounded, and my friend who was sitting beside me asked why she was grounded. She said she got caught having sex with her girlfriend, and without thinking, I asked her how it worked. I'm a guy, by the way. I feel like this could be taken one of 2 ways. Either really offensively because dude, seriously, or either really innocently because dude, seriously? This is an inside thought because this is probably a question you should have kept to yourself instead of just verbally vomiting. But like, how did the friend react? How did the friend answer this?
You. Are you dumb?
Boys, you know, it's okay, boys. Keep asking these questions as long as you're asking them with a good and innocent intention.
You. Are you dumb?
Once I was at a family function and it was so fun because me and my cousins were just vibing, you know? Then when my cousin gets up, we'll call her Gina. So Gina gets up to go to the bathroom and leaves the room. Me and my other cousin, who we'll call Sarah, leaves 5 minutes later to get water. So of course, I wait for both of them to get back, but it was a while, like 20 minutes. So I get up to search for them and then my mom told me to pull out the ice cream, which was downstairs, by the way. Me being the good kid I am, I go downstairs and I kid you not, Sarah and Gina are doing you know what down there, butt naked, coochie out. We've never talked sense and I need help. Yes, you do, babes. Ew, 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 ew. Seek all the help. I mean, like for you and for your cousins, because do they know what the word cousins means?
Brother, what's that?
What's that, brother?
Bro, let me find out at my Thanksgiving dinner and my cousins are secretly hooking up with you. There goes all my dinner, all the ice cream. Y'all have a lot more in common. And by that, I mean literally the blood that runs through your veins. Ew, bro. There are so many fish in the sea and they don't have to be related to you. I don't want to think about this anymore. Wow, y'all are something else. Especially y'all with your cousins.
You know who's looking fine tonight? Seth Mosikowski. Okay, you did not just say that. What? He's a good kisser. He's your cousin. Yeah, but he's my first cousin.
Do you think we can get a discount on like a giant group therapy session or... Shout out of the day goes to Anika. Thank you so much for being here. I love you guys. I hope you stay safe out there. I hope you stop hooking up with your cousins, but I also hope you keep having embarrassing stories so we have more tea. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye.